Alright, so today we're going to go through paper 2 consistent. So question says answer all the questions in this passage provided on the question paper. Figure 1.1 shows an animal cell as seen under an electron microscope. So we can tell that this is an animal cell. This is the cell membrane and the like. And the question is identify the labeled parts F and G. That's what we want to find. The labeled parts F and G. So we have F, this one here, and then this is G. So for G, that will be the nucleus. So we know this is the nucleus. So that will be the nucleus for G. And then what we want to find is the one for F. Alright, so the parts of a cell, this is what we have. So let us just check on these. This has to be part F, has to be the ER, or the endoplasmic reticulum, the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So for this one, it will be the rough, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum, or ER. Okay, for endoplasmic reticulum. So let's just look at the cell, and then we can check on the parts of the cell. So here we have what we were looking at, that is the ER, or the endoplasmic reticulum, the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and then this is the nucleus that we have. The nucleus is here, and then we got some. This is the endoplasmic reticulum, and then these are the powerhouse, or the mitochondria, and then we have many parts in the cell. So these are the basics that we should know. So these were the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, they function, they participate in transport and finalizing the proteins that are produced or synthesized by the ribosomes. Okay, so that was for this question here. So we've got the ER, and this is the nucleus. Explain the function of the parts labeled H. Okay, so explain the function of the parts labeled H. So the parts labeled H, let's check from our diagram, is this one here. So it should be said it's the mitochondria. So this part is the mitochondria. The mitochondria. So the function of the mitochondria is to produce, or to acts as a powerhouse, that is the production of energy for the cell. Okay, so it acts as a powerhouse which produces energy for the cell. So it produces energy. It produces energy for the cell. That is for the mitochondria. And then the other part which you want to find is I. Explain the function. So here you have 4 marks, meaning you have to at least give a little bit of detail, okay, on each as you're giving the answer, so that you get the 2 marks for each part. So the remaining part is I, which is the cell membrane. Now if you can get the function of this is the cell membrane. Okay, cell membrane. Now what's the function? The function is it acts as a semi-permeable membrane, or selective semi-permeable membrane, meaning it allows other materials to enter and other materials not to enter or leave the cell. Okay, So that is about the cell membrane. That's the function of the cell membrane. Let's just look at the cell, and with that we study a little bit of these. So this is our cell which we have here. If we can study a little bit of this, so this the mitochondria. Yes, this is how it looks, how mitochondria is. And then there's the function of the mitochondria. It's a powerhouse of the cell, meaning it produces energy in form of ATP or adenosine triphosphate, which comes from various stages of chemical reaction starting from a glucose molecule. Okay, so we only want the function. And the other one which we have is we can talk about the, let's see if we can get the cell membrane here. Okay, seems we cannot. Hey, seems we cannot. So here we have the, should be the Golgi apparatus, okay, which is modification of proteins during a journey through its circuits, okay, chemical reactions including glycosylation. Okay, so this is the modification of proteins for the Golgi apparatus. This is the ER, endoplasmic reticulum. This is the mitochondria, production of energy. And then we have this should be the ribosomes, lysosome. Okay, we don't have to do this at this level, so I just wanted you to see the basics. Okay, so that is what we have for the cell. So the membrane allows materials to come in and to come out. So for now, this is just the basic we wanted to look at. Alright, so C says suggest two cell parts which will be present in figure 1 if it was a plant cell. Suggest two parts which will be present in figure 1 if it was a plant cell. So here it talks about differentiation of a plant cell from an animal cell. So number one, the first thing you should note that in a plant cell you have a cell wall. So here you write cell wall, and number two, chloroplast, which contain chlorophyll, because as human beings, animal cells, we don't have the chloroplast. So these are the things you can talk about. You can even talk about the vacuole, the presence of the vacuole. But here we do not have the vacuole. So these are the things you can talk about to score 4 marks, that is 8 marks for this question here. Alright, so let's explain the next question. So the question says the effect of pH on the rate of enzyme catalyzed reactions K and M. Alright, so here we have the rate of reaction going up, and then here we have the concentration of pH, and then here you have J and L curve, reaction M, and then K. So we've got two reactions, reaction code K and reaction code M. Okay, we have J and L. So the question is, what term is given to pH at J and L here? Okay, this one will be pretty much easy. That is the optimum. Okay, so that is the optimum. That is the optimum pH. Then we have explained why the rate of reactions K and M goes down after point J and L respectively. Okay, so why does the reaction go down after this? So this is because after the optimum temperature or optimum pH, the enzymes are denatured. Okay, that is why there's a slowdown in the reaction. So we can say after the optimum temperature, the enzymes are denatured. After the pH. So So that is why we see there is a slowdown in the reactions K and M after the point J and L respectively. Alright, so question C says name the regions of the alimentary canal where reactions K and M take place. So name the regions of the alimentary canal where reactions K and J take place. Okay, reactions K and M. Now, for us to know the region, we have to look at the pH. Okay, we have a pH of 2 here, 0.5 somewhere there. Okay, so what you ask yourself, where do we have this pH in the alimentary canal? And then here we have like 11. So definitely this is an acidic pH. This is a basic pH. So where does this take place? This could be in the mouth or saliva for basic pH in the mouth. This could be in the stomach because of the acid which are produced in the stomach. Okay, so this could be K, which is this one, could be in the stomach. And M will be mouth. Okay, because of the pH is basic here, the optimum is basic, then here we have one which is acidic. And then suggest one enzyme which can catalyze reaction M, which is in the mouth. What is the enzyme that can catalyze? So in the mouth we have saliva, which has salivary amylase. Okay, that is one. State one food nutrient which can be catalyzed in reaction K. So reaction K, that is that one, what food nutrient can be catalyzed in that reaction. So we can have proteins. That is for this reaction. Okay, so that is for the stomach, because that's where, because that is where we find the enzyme pepsin and renin in the stomach. Okay, alright, state two factors other than pH which affect enzyme activity. Number one is temperature affects enzyme activity. Number two is, and we can also talk about concentration. That is concentration. So these are the two factors which affect enzyme activity. Alright, so that is on this question. Hope everything is clear. You can go to the next question. Right, so this question says shows a cross-section through a stem of a plant which had been previously dipped in a red dye for 6 hours. Okay, so we have parts. So this is transport in plants, and this part here, this thing is the structure of a stem. Okay, how do we know that's the structure of a stem? So there are two structures, the structure of a root and a stem. If it's one which looks like this, it's a structure of a stem. The one for a root has some form of X at the middle like that. This is for a root, this is for a stem. Okay, and this is the xylem there. So in this one, the xylem is the one which is, so the xylem is inside, so which should be Q here. Q should be the xylem, and then the one which is outside should be the phloem, which is P, the phloem here. So identify the parts labeled NPQ. So Q is the xylem, P is the phloem, and then we have N should be the cambium. Okay, so this should be the cambium here. And then which labeled part in figure 3 would be stained red after this was put in red dye for 6 hours? Okay, so that would be Q, since it's the one which is the function of xylem is to absorb water from the ground to all parts, to taking water to all parts of the plant. So it's the one which is going to absorb the red dye, so which is Q. And then P is to transport manufactured foods to all parts of the plant. Give a reason for your answer in A above, because the xylem absorbs water. It absorbs water or transports water to all parts of the plant. Hence, it will absorb the dye and transmit it when transmitting the water. Okay, so that will be the reason here. So let's go to the other part. Alright, so it says B, we are here. Suggest 3 factors that would increase the rate of movement in the dye in the stem where it is dipped in the red dye. So we're talking about the factors which affect the rate of transpiration here, which could be, number 1 is humidity, and then number two is temperature, and then number 3 will be sunlight. Number 4, if needed, would be wind. These are the factors that affect the rate of transpiration of the loss of water. So this would increase the rate of movement of the dye in the stem. Name the process that will cause the movement of red dye in the stem. I've already talked about transpiration. Right, so that is the answer for this one. So now we have we can jump to essay parts, the essay questions. So 6, explain gaseous exchange in green plants during daytime. So during the daytime, you can explain you've got oxygen coming in, and carbon dioxide, which is CO2. Because during daytime, plants absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. But during the night, it's the opposite. They absorb oxygen and then release carbon dioxide. Okay, this is what is happening here. Using named organisms, explain the industrial application of respiration. Okay, you can talk about yeast. This is used in the production of cheese, beer brewing of beer in the breweries. Okay, you can use using named organisms, explain the industrial application of respiration. So these can be used in the process of respiration, okay, in the production of beer. So now using named organisms. So okay, so that's what we can talk about. Describe how gum disease is brought about. This could be lack of nutrients, like bad diet, like lack of vitamin C. That's how we have people with scurvy, right? So like lack of vitamin C, bad diet, at least we can have gum disease. Okay, this is what we can talk about. 7, describe the structure and functions of the endocrine glands. So we can say endocrine glands, they release, they are ductless. Okay, ductless. They release hormones. They send hormones to target organs. Which affect the behavior of those target organs. So that is the behavior of the target organs. That is this one here. Explain the difference between the adrenal gland and the salivary gland. Okay, so we have adrenal glands. They produce the adrenaline, okay, which is the flight or fight hormone, which is used to prepare the body for flight or to run. So the difference between the adrenal gland and the salivary gland to be the location. The adrenal gland is located on top of the kidney, and the salivary gland is not. Okay, and the hormones they produce, the other one produces adrenaline, and the other one does not. And those are the reasons I will talk about. Then explain the functions of the following hormones in the body. Insulin, we know it is to control blood sugar concentration, okay, or blood sugar levels in the body. It is released when the body has got too much glucose concentration, and it lowers the concentration of glucose in the body. Antidiuretic hormone, or ADH, used to regulate the amount of water in the body. Okay, it's produced by the hypothalamus. Okay, so actually the antidiuretic hormone is produced by the pituitary. Okay, the pituitary gland. So the pituitary gland is the one which produces the ADH, which enables more water to be absorbed, okay, by the body cells. Okay, so meaning the concentration of water in the body will reduce. The cells are going to absorb it because of ADH, which is released by the pituitary gland, which receives a signal from the hypothalamus. That is what happens here. So 8, explain how HIV can be transmitted from one person. Describe ways of stigma. I encourage you just to research on this one. So this one here, we'll leave it. Okay, we probably can discuss it the next time. Alright, so we can go through these questions again, and if you have any question still not clear, you can let me know. Now we'll see you in the next video.